If you're wondering how many ads your video editor should actually deliver every single week, let me save you years of guessing, because in this video I'll share with you our internal benchmarks, and the benchmarks we look at for our clients' creative systems when we help them build them from scratch. And on top of that, I will also share with you the most common problems and the reason why most creative teams are not able to hit these numbers. Without further ado, let's dive in. There's one big problem in this space, and this one problem is the fact that as a founder, as an e-commerce owner, you're most likely interested in selling shoes. You're most likely interested in selling supplements. You're interested in selling skincare products, but you're not really interested in learning the ropes of Premiere Pro, learning how to use Final Cut. So most of the time, what happens with founders, and this is something that we're seeing more and more often, is that you have to trust what your video editor tells you. So the video editor tells you, hey, in order to do a similar video, I need a full day. And very often it happens that clients come to us and tell us, hey, it seems like my production is a little slow. I'm able to produce 10 ads per week with 2 video editors. Is that normal? And obviously it's hard for them to get back to the video editor since they don't have a benchmark that they can use as a goal, as a North Star. So just to be clear, a good video editor who does their job and who's put in a position where they're able to actually do their job, which is edit videos all day long, is able to produce 50 ads per week. And this is just one video editor. Now, let me be clear. 50 ads per week means that they're spending a lot of time, because one ad, on average, takes around 40 minutes. If you're doing the math, I'll save you some time, because 40 minutes times 50 ads equals 2,000 minutes equals 33.3 hours. So this means that if you want your video editor to give you the highest output possible, they need to spend 33.3 hours a week just editing videos. And as a founder, your job is to put them in a position where they can edit videos for 33.3 hours, which is not an easy task. And that's why most of our clients come to us. Hey, I want to hire a creative strategist. Hey, I want to hire a video editor. Do it for me. And we're very happy to do it. But most of the time, the creative system we welcome the new video editor, the new creative strategist into, is simply chaotic, is simply not able to let the new video editor excel, to let the new creative strategist excel. So for that reason, what we realized is that a 6 out of 10 video editor in a 10 out of 10 creative system will always have a higher output, higher and better output than a 6 out of 10 video editor in a 10 out of 10 creative system. And let that sink in, because this is the real question. The real question is not why is my video editor not able to deliver 50 ads per week. You shouldn't blame the video editor. You should blame the system. And as a founder, you're responsible for that system. You cannot expect a creative strategist to come in place and literally build your creative system from scratch. It's almost like hiring an airplane pilot, not to fly the plane, but to build a plane. And that's obviously not what we're trying to do. But in one of the next videos, I'll try to explain more about the role of the creative strategist and creative strategy in general through our lens, through our philosophy at 99ads.com. With that being said, I know what you're wondering, which is, what does a 10 out of 10 creative system looks like? Because if I have a 10 out of 10 video editor and I put them into a 10 out of 10 creative system, then I can get great results. And you are absolutely right. Now, talking about the creative system at length would take 10 hours. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to give you the 4 main elements that our clients need to fix in order to get better results. So when they come to us, these are the 4 most common problems that we need to fix right away. And this is usually the low-hanging fruit that gives results right away to our clients. Now, the number 1 is content organization. If you want your video editor, organization is a hard word to spell. Just give me 1 second. I need to focus here. All right. If you want your video editor to exclusively do their job, which is edit videos, you need a great content library. And you want this content library to be well organized, to be efficient, and you want it to be spotless. So this is the goal. And this is something that most founders don't really care about. And sometimes it happens that we hear people that are working with the most random MAM systems. MAM stands for Media Asset Management. In the one we recommend, the one we use internally is called Iconic. I'm not affiliated. You can find the link online quite easily. In the second one that client use that I kind of like is Frame.io. Last time that I checked, if I'm not wrong, Frame.io was a little pricier. So if you're price sensitive, Iconic can be better. But both of them do the same job. In whatever MAM system you're using, you want to make sure that it's easy to access, it's very easy to use. It gives you the opportunity to tag your videos and split them into different folders per category. But most importantly, one of the most important parts for video editors is that they're able to hover over the videos without actually playing the videos. So they can get a gist of what's inside the video instantly just by hovering the mouse over the video. And this saves them a lot of time. Now, you can do this, you can get your creative strategist to work on this. Usually it's not ideal simply because the hourly rate of the creative strategist is usually a little too high for this type of job, which is not a problem, especially if you have a new creative strategist and you kind of want to make sure they're a cultural fit to your company. Then in that case, I would probably recommend getting them to do it. But otherwise, you can have an assistant do that job and it's pretty easy. The hardest part, the heavy lifting, is at the beginning, because once everything is tidy, then it's much easier to put each and every new scene inside the right folder and tag them accordingly. Now, the number two is briefs, references, and instructions. If you want your video editor and your creative strategist to work together in a lean way, you want to make sure that you have clear rules that both parties can follow and can understand. Now, understanding the right rules on the brief is going to make the creative strategist save a lot of time. And most importantly, is going to make the video editor save a lot of time, because many times I see these gigantic briefs that are just like a rant of the creative strategist. And then the video editor has to kind of interpret what the creative strategist was thinking about and what was the actual type of editing that they were expecting. And that's simply a waste of time. If you want your creative strategist to spend 33.3 hours a week working on ads, they shouldn't be spending time trying to understand what's in the brief. So for that reason, your briefs must be top notch. And the rules that the entire team must follow when it comes to briefing ads must be top notch. Then references are incredibly important, simply because they reduce the amount of revisions that your video editor will have to work on. And this obviously frees up more time when it comes to spending those 33.3 hours just on new ads. You know what I'm saying? Then instructions, again, save time on both sides. Now, number 3 is weekly sprints. And this is important because every time we step into a creative system, it's very hard that it's very unlikely, it almost never happens, that all the people involved in the creative team understand their responsibility in a clear way, and most importantly, have a clear understanding of the weekly deadlines, in also an understanding of how they can become a bottleneck if they don't meet that deadline. And this is something that we learned as time went by, and putting in place a strong weekly sprint where everybody knows their role, everybody understands what is the entire process, is something that I would highly recommend if you're building your own creative system. And then number 4 is expectations. This is probably one of the easiest things to fix, because if you expect your video editor to spend 33.3 hours editing videos every single week, you want to make sure that you don't expect from them to also be a copywriter, to also be a creative strategist, to also be a media buyer, to also be a graphic designer. You're hiring video editors to be video editors. Some of them are great at analyzing ads. Some of them come from media buying. Some of them are great at doing graphic design. However, if you want them to actually deliver 50 ads per week, you want to make sure that they can work on 50 ads per week. And in order for them to do so, they have to be able to edit videos. Now, these are the most common problems we see. In this video, I shared with you the internal benchmarks that we have at 99ads.com for our own teams, but also for the ones we built for our clients. Now, if this can help you, I'm very happy that you found this video. I hope you can implement everything yourself and get more ads from your video editor. Now, if you need help implementing everything that I talked about and diving into the actual creative systems and how to create the briefs and how to make sure that everybody's aligned, in how to also delegate the management and the training of the people within your creative team, in that case, I would highly recommend you book a call at 99ads.com/demo. Again, 99ads.com/demo. This is a normal call. It's not a salesy, aggressive call. It's just a way for us to explain to you what we do and to understand if we can be a good fit. At this stage, we're not onboarding too many clients. So for that reason, we want to make sure that everybody we onboard is a great fit for us first, but then they can get exponential returns so we can build an amazing case study together. So once again, if you're interested, head over to 99ads.com/demo, book a call, and I'll see you in the next video.